Morning to the Hancock Park Referral Network on this last meeting of the year. This is December 22nd, and please turn on your video, list your name and category and your Zoom ID, post your contact information in the chat if you want, and remember that this meeting is being recorded. So let us move to the next slide. Great. BJ, you're up.
Hey, I'm BJ. I am a photographer. I also go as BJ the photographer, also known as BJ the photographer. My company is BJ the photographer, and I am a photographer. I was invited by T, and this is my second meeting. And so far, I love all of you very much.
Beautiful. Great to see you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again, it's great to see your bright, smiley face. All right, next slide. While we're at, let's see, John Chadbourne, why don't you read the creed, please?
Morning. LaTip is a professional organization of men and women dedicated to the highest standards of competence and service. Our purpose is the exchange of business tips. Members will, at all times, maintain the highest professional integrity. Each business category is represented by one member only, and conflicts of interest are disallowed.
Okay, next slide. Great. Definition of a tip. T, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Great.
Definition of a tip. A qualified business tip is a company or person who is interested in a specific service or product and is expecting a call from an HPRN member.
Beautiful. So let's keep this slide right here, Jimmy. Go back to that other slide. And during our meeting, during our pre-meeting meeting just a few minutes ago, we were talking about how do you make that connection between people? How do you successfully introduce one person to another in a way where they're going to truly connect? Are you going to give them that person's business card and say, give them a call, give Liberty a call, here's her card? Or are you going to hook them up? In this group, this isn't just a business networking group, this is a business training group in a way. All of us can live and die by referrals. And referrals are so much better than cold introductions. So, what we're here for, all of us, is to get warm leads. So the handoff is important, because typically, even if somebody gives me a business card, I'm not going to call that person. But if they make me meet that person somehow, then I'm not going to not meet that person. So some of the ways that we do that, with Jimmy one time, I was on the phone with a client and he said he needed a refi, and I said, hey, I've got this great guy. Can I put him on the phone with you? He says, sure. So right then and there, I added a call and the connection was made. Another easy way to refer somebody is just to put them on a group thread, whether it's an email or a text, and then let them take it from there. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Least obtrusive, but still right there. And if you can't, if that person doesn't want it that way, a text, an email, a call, then maybe that person isn't somebody you can refer. We can't win them all, That is part of our job as connectors, to learn how to pass it on. And it's, at first it can be daunting. And so this is a business exercise. And the more you get good at connecting, the more that things flow to you, the more that things come back. When you refer somebody to somebody, that person never forgets. and they'll be thinking of you and trying to refer you. It's just a natural human phenomenon that we operate that way. We kind of give and we owe each other, and sort of are always working to, what am I looking, what's the word? We're always giving and receiving, not just giving. So, before we go into anything further, has anybody had a really cool story of connecting? I've told the story about Jimmy and hooking him up with the client right there on the phone. Very proactive. Anybody have any success stories with connecting?
Well, can I hop in real quick with some thoughts I've got?
No.
Okay, thank you. Love you too. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with BJ. I'm gonna do it anyway. So, I come from a background where, I was honestly, very uncomfortable asking for things, and I kind of, my childhood, it was a lot of no's and no's and no's. And I had to build the muscle asking for things. And the reason I bring this up is because, when I'm dealing with people, I have to ask them, do you want the business? Do you want this? Can I refer you to this person? Can I have you do this? And it takes practice. And so it's actually gotten to the point now where I feel comfortable doing it, but it's, you talked about it earlier in the call, it's a building a muscle. And so practicing asking people, can I have them call you? Will help you in other areas of my life, because it's really benefited me, not just in mortgages, but in other areas of my life where now I'm not afraid to ask, because I'm okay with hearing no. And so a lot of times we're afraid to hear no because we feel rejection. So we say, hey, I'm going to have so-and-so call you, and you don't want to put them out. But honestly, I've found that it makes them more comfortable, takes the pressure off of them, and it makes you seem like more of a connector in terms of, I've got this great guy, or I've got this great girl, and I'm going to have them call you. And it's hard for people to say no to that, because you say, hey, I've got someone who's really good, I'm going to have them reach out to you. I'm doing you a favor by having them do that. But we come from that place of like, ooh, they're not going to like it. I'm going to make them feel uncomfortable by saying that. And like I say, just my personal experience, you guys, is it takes a lot of practice. And I've gotten to the point now where it just flows right out of my mouth. I'm like, I'm going to have Eric call you. I'm going to give him your phone number. And is that good with you? And they're like, sure. And usually they say yes. But it takes practice. And it takes, Eric said it earlier in the call when you guys weren't on it, but he said, it's like, you got to make some mistakes. You got to try it one way. Oh, that didn't work. Try it another way. And we're here to help with that if you ever want to go through dialogues and practice and all that. But I'm a very firm believer that you got to ask the person, assuming they're going to say yes.
Yep.
So I'll shut up.
That was
Jimmy.
beautiful. What did you just get up?
I kind of read my audience. If I know, for example, I think the first 1 or 2 meetings I had a referral for Antonio and Cynthia, and I knew based on the people that are referring that they were not the type that were going to reach out. So, in that particular case, I just passed on the numbers, but I told the referees that I was going to have someone call them. So I think it worked out in those cases, but then there have been other cases where I have to get on a text thread and do the actual introduction that way. So it really I try to look at the person who needs the referral. How aggressive or how assertive are they going to be? Are they more relaxed? So I kind of just read the audience.
Yeah. How do they want to be communicated with? Right?
Yeah.
How do they communicate with you? If they're usually, hard to reach on the phone and you're texting them most of the time.
Yeah.
The text intro group thread, which is one of the great new ways to introduce people, I think, because people are more on their text than they are on their email or on their phone.
Yeah.
That is a really legit way to do it.
Yeah. I'll add, I love the personal testimony, and that's been working for me. And I think one of the pros of supporting each other's businesses, or at least having experience, when we actually call the person or use one of their services, is that it just naturally leads to a conversation. So I can think of a couple of times with Jim, and then most recently with the lawns business, I had a person who was in my office, doesn't work there, but was in the office and was diagnosed with coronavirus. And I didn't think there was really a big danger. We didn't have close contact, but I just wanted to get the environment cleaned. So I reached out to Alon, and I was blown away by the service. It's really cool. So they have these UV lights. It's this whole system they do, and it just cleanses the entire space. Well, just natural conversation, because I was kind of impressed by it. You talk to other people about it, and it very easily led to a conversation with another person who was, equally impressed by it and wanted to know more about it, had the same situation, and it made it a lot easier to connect Alon with this new potential client. So I love doing that, just talking about my experience, and it almost always leads to more interest, even if it's not immediate, kind of planting the seed down the road.
That's a great point, because, one of the two main ways that we can refer each other one of them is an inside tip, right? And an outside tip. The inside tip is incredibly powerful because you learn about the other person's business, and then you can talk details and you can speak confidently. And that little change is the change that causes this other person to be like, oh, yeah, I need to meet them. And when we're back, to normal life, one of the things that we will do, which is always a lot of fun, is lunch bunches and office visitations. I'm sorry, lunch bunches is not the one. It's office visitations, where you'll go visit, all of us will take, on 1 week, we'll all go visit one other person in their office. Once you've seen somebody's office, it's so much easier to refer. It's just they're in your mind, And so, we all kind of take turns to run around and meet each other and see each other's offices. And it really does work very well. And then you can, like with Alon, you now know the service, you know where he works, you know what he does, and you can speak confidently. And the other person's like, oh, Laisha knows this guy, I need to meet this guy, right? That's a very good point. I'm looking forward to being able to do that and meeting all of you guys in person. Makes a big difference. And look at us. We are 10 people here today, 3 days before Christmas.
We're 10 years old. We're 10. Cool. Yay, we're 10.
All right. So any other, I think I started it, but, I'd love to hear one successful tip story.
I'll give one real quick.
Great. One connection. Mm-hmm.
Was actually this past weekend, because I was actually traveling this weekend. I actually went to Tampa for a little work. And on my way, I gave a tip to Cynthia for a client that was going through actually an estate settlement. But like just the process that her calling, she actually had some questions. She called me, we looped in, and like this client has gone through a lot, like literally a lot going on. Just having Cynthia walk her through, I think definitely her tone and her expertise. When I got back to the office on Monday, she called me and we went back and forth on email. And she ended up, actually gonna use Cynthia going forward on, I guess, a couple other things too, but just, she was, normally she's very frantic. She was so calm, and like, yes, I'm definitely going with Cynthia. I mean, she's very much an expert. She's very good at what she does. And that was an easy tip, but just her comfort level, especially going what she went this whole year, has been unfortunately very, very rough for her. I wanted to say thank you to Cynthia for calming my client and making sure that she's in good hands. So that was my first tip to Cynthia. And also that first one's always the hardest. That now much easier because I know like she is who she said she is. So.
Antonio, thank you so much. I wanted to also share that we did this via email. Those of you who know me know that, well, certainly right now, I'm often working from home in a noisy environment. I'm great on email, great on text. Calls are hard right now. Today, a call is almost impossible, but I have to make a couple of calls happen every day. But Antonio did this all on email. And so that by the time I connected with this client, she was really ready, and we were able to be really efficient in our first call. So success, email introduction worked like a charm. Thank you so much, Antonio. I'm so grateful for the referral. I love helping people. I love helping people.
Yeah, me too.
And you know, you'll hear when we're describing, you know, how we introduce them, especially me and Jimmy, you'll hear us say, you know, like, you know, Jimmy, he's a really great guy. I really think you should meet him. You know, why did I say he's a really great guy? Why didn't I just say, hey, I've got a mortgage broker, you should meet him?
I got a guy.
You know, it's because that for some that you know, people want to meet. I don't know. It works better. I can't tell you why. But if you say, you know, he like Cynthia always says, is a really nice person. You know, I'm connecting good people with each other. That's what we're doing, and somehow that helps sort of smooth out the edges. But you'll develop your own style, and you'll have a different way than the rest of us. You know, everybody has their own way that they're comfortable with. The easygoing people will be good at being like, hey, da da da. And the ones who are a little bit more, you know, careful, those people will do it a different way. You know, maybe on text or email. The ones who are more easygoing might do it just right there on the phone.
Right. Very true.
So again, this is a business exercise. All right, second business exercise for the day. I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes, up to 2 minutes, to describe your personal and your business goals. Okay, so you don't have to go through all of them if you have a lot, but just, you know, pick one or two of your biggest, or one, or whatever, half.
So 2 minutes per goal. That what we're saying?
No, 2 minutes total. I know some of you can take up 2 minutes easy.
Listen, I
Like
got a list.
So I'll just go through the list, but let's start with personal and then go to business, okay? Starting with, let's start off with a bang with Mr. Green.
Great. And Mr. Green's totally not prepared for this. All right. Good morning, everybody. All right. So goal.
I warned ya.
That was not even a, that was
Yeah.
such a, that was a bad bang. That was really bad bang.
Bang.
There you go.
All right, here we go. So I'm going to shoot from the hip here. So goals. Actually, I have long-standing goals, personal goals. Personal goal, my main goal, and I think it's kind of my purpose in life, is help as many people as possible live the lives they're meant to live, which means to help people find what really makes them happy. And I do that by, as best I can, by example, trying to live that life myself. And I find, you know, I want to share that with people and help people out. So that's my main goal in life. And it's kind of just a running theme in terms of personal for 2020. My goal is to vacation 10 times a year, which means take a weekend away or get out of town.
21,
and
2021.
during the
We're
COVID
not
times,
doing
it's going to be a
2020 again.
challenge. I'm sorry, 2021. Thank God.
We're not doing 2020 again.
There you go, 2021. So there you go. So that's that. I don't know how much time I have left. What else? Just be, you know, kind and compassionate to people around me. I'm pretty happy with my health. In terms of business goals, you know, my goal is to fund over $3 million a month, which is, you know, a number of, you know, mortgages, refis, and purchases, all that kind of stuff. And my goal is to do that in, you know, less than 8 hours a day. So I've got time for family and friends. Yeah, I mean, you know, travel and live a life of prosperity and abundance, and be surrounded by unconditional love, like people like you. So those are my goals for 2021.
Wow.
Really?
Beautiful. Very nice. Okay,
Yeah,
next, let's do
yeah,
Liberty.
real.
Okay, let's see. Well,
You know what? Before we go, let's also throw in. Do we need to do a commercial? Because we won't be able to do them both. Let's not do a commercial. Let's focus on this. Go ahead, Liberty.
okay. Well, my personal goal is always travel. I really missed traveling this year. And so I'm really looking forward to doing that. And if not, you know, that's okay. We'll defer. But I have like a personal / business goal, which is that I've spent the last 2 weeks working on book proposals and getting them into the first publisher at least. And so I hope to be publishing a book next year with some of my artwork and writing and stuff. So that's one. And then another one is just really working on my speaking gig stuff. One thing that's neat with people in my field right now is that Zoom has broken open the door in a way that people weren't doing. Like I took a class with a woman who was in Texas, and there were people all around the world taking this class recently. And part of me taking it was researching, like, how do I do this? How do you teach? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I could totally do this. So something that was really intimidating for me before, like teaching over Zoom. And I've done a number of speaking engagements over Zoom, but I'm more and more excited about the prospect of now not being limited by location for my speaking engagements and my my teaching engagements. So that's something I'm planning on working a lot on this year, whether or not I'm still in quarantine. I feel like the doors have blown off that a little bit.
Yeah, they really have. Beautiful. Antonio.
Hold on, I'm gonna do what Jimmy should have done. All right. That's starting off with a bang.
We'll start with you next time.
That and my coffee kicked in, I'm done. So my personal goals this year, actually, to me, I'm very much like Jimmy, as far as a lot of my personal and professional goals are very in line and similar. I'm going to start a nonprofit organization based on financial literacy. I already have a small company that I've been, my little martial arts school that I've been doing the last 20 odd years, whatever. So I'm kind of expanding that. So that I'm trying to get that off the ground and get that going. As far as just like getting out there in the community for a financial literacy, the financial literacy portion of it. That's my personal. But also personal / professional is my goal is to help 50 people next year. I want 50 people, regardless of, let's say $50 million or $50, I want just to help as many people as I can. And 50 is a nice round number. And yeah, and getting out there as any way I can along with Liberty. I'm like utilizing all these tools. I'm a little bit more restricted because there's certain platforms that don't allow me to get on there because they're not encrypted or there's some sort of encryption issues. But at the same time, I'm very creative. Like I started doing IG videos a couple of months ago because I was bored on financial literacy stuff, on just like basic, like what's a bond, what's a stock, what's a ETF, all that fun stuff, just to get it out there. My son's a photographer, so I started using his lighting and all his and my little production in my living room and my dining room table. But that's opened up the doors a lot as far as my ability to reach. I pressed the envelope because I'm sure compliance is looking at me like, what are you doing on your IG? I'm like, this is professional, this is personal, and I'm not making any recommendations. I'm just saying, and I'm just explaining certain things. I think that's something that's needed and necessary. A lot of my clients, new clients, are very much like, what is this? What is that? If I'm recommending something, and I'd rather give them information and teach them, because I'm a teacher at heart, just like Jimmy is, and make sure they know what they're doing, and then it's the process is even more smooth, like going forward when you're walking them through different steps and trades and transactions or whatnot. So that's my personal professional goal: help as many people as I can, 50 people on my new clients, and launching my nonprofit with the bang. I didn't have the noise queued up this time, but you can imagine the bam 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 sound right now. There you go. Happy hands. There you go.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. John.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
So, I guess, I haven't started thinking about all my goals yet for the year, which I know I tend to do that. And my company makes me do kind of a business plan. What am I going to do? So, personal goals, and I'll start with that. So personal goals, I guess this year, I guess I got the COVID-19s this year. And, my job used to be running around in and out of the car, up and down stairs, in and out offices, city buildings. And now I sit behind a computer all day long. And so I haven't exercised. Yeah, I used to, and Jimmy knows, I used to hike all the time. I used to bike all the time. Yeah, I actually was a ski instructor I mean, it's like I was in much better shape before. And so this year, I'd really like to see if I can get that back under control. You know, beginning of COVID, and I mean, like a lot of people that I talk to, beginning of COVID, baking and cookies and blueberry muffins and
Yeah.
you know, my stress eating or comfort eating was, and I think you guys heard me say this, was sour cream and green onion dip with Ruffles chips. That was my my comfort food, you know. And between everything going on in my life this year, there was some serious comfort eating, you know, through some periods this year. And you know, now it's like, you know, I went to the doctor and they're like, you know, you better get some things under control. And so yeah, so that's that. My personal is I need to get some things under control. And you know, as sweatpants seem to be more comfortable these days, and basketball shorts, you know. So that would be personal goals. Professional goal, you know, for me, so this year's been such a wacky year, and it's been an unbelievably busy year for me, which has been good. Knock on wood. I mean, it's been an absolutely incredible year. My business goals would be to get some of the technology stuff. I'm not that good with, you know, the Instagrams and the Facebooks and all that stuff. And I've got somebody at the office that does some of that stuff for me. But even then, I'm just not that good with it. I'm not paying attention to it. I'm not looking at it. And as I told them, just make it like a commercial. It's just a commercial. You know, just run ads. That's kind of what I said. Just run ads, because I don't really know what to do. And they say you should do different things. So that's kind of one of my big things, to get my technology stuff, you know, kind of under control, and work on my database, get that kind of under control. You know, email blasts. You know, I mean, Eric and Jimmy, you don't see too many email blasts from me. And now email blasts, I'm also a believer that, you know, that stuff gets out of control. And I've seen people in my business that it's obnoxious, you know, because the real estate agents are saying, well, geez, your competitor, then pretty soon it's, my God, you know, I just delete it all the time because your competitors, you know, it's like, okay, there's a balance to some of that, where, you know, don't send an email blast every single day. Don't send one maybe even once a week. Maybe don't even send one for somebody like me. And because then you guys are looking at it going, oh, again? Now what? You know, so yeah, that would be some of my kind of my business goals, is to get some of that under control. And
Beautiful.
Yeah, thanks you guys.
Beautiful. Very good. Thank you. I have the same personal goal as you, John. Okay, T.
I'm like John, I hadn't really thought about it yet. Just 2020 has really fried my brain. So personal, there are quite a few. Definitely, I probably want to get some exercising back into my life. I was also very active, and I have not been very active anymore. But the good thing is, I think I've eaten everything that I could possibly have eaten, so I don't really want to eat anymore. So maybe it'll kind of, you know, even itself out. But personal goals, I would like to finish my house, all the renovations on my house. They've been ongoing for about 3 years, and working from home has allowed me to get a lot of projects done. It's also created new projects, but for the most part, it's allowed me to get a lot of projects done. So those are probably two of my personal goals. Actually, and I want to start traveling again. And professionally, I think I'd really like to mentor a young lady. Mentor a young lady in the business that I do. I have tried for, I don't know, maybe 5 years or so to engage young women and try and teach them about this construction business and how to manage construction projects. And nothing has seemed to have stuck. So I would really like to find a young lady that is interested in this business and that I can teach, you know, all of what I've learned, so that they can, so that I can expand my business, because me knowing how to do everything doesn't allow me to go out, and sometimes it limits me from generating new business, because I am all over the place. I can't really expand if I'm the only person that knows how to do everything. So that would be probably my professional goal.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Jim?
Is that a
real fire in the back?
It is. Yeah. I installed, it's the gas logs actually, but I installed it. We've had a hearth for 5 years and never used it. So last week I went out and I got a gas log fire. We had a gas line put in there, but I didn't have a log light or anything. So last week I went out and got a gas log set and installed it, and now it's so easy. You just turn it on. It's really nice. And also no wood burning. Yeah, it really makes a huge difference, and it's really warm too, which is.
I was expecting to hear Nat King Cole blasting in the back when you unmuted.
Exactly, that's right.
I was expecting just to get all the Bing Crosby going, everything, but
you got it. Yeah, I don't have a Christmas hat, don't have a Christmas tree, but I got a fireplace, so there we go. So personally this year, of course, I want to continue to grow with my family and, teach my kids as much as I can. And we are looking at remodeling our backyard. So I hope we can. That's a project we've been talking about for years. I think we may get closer to that. Hopefully, get some permits and stuff at least this year. And then my professional side, actually, I'm committed to doubling my practice. And that's going to be done through two methods. One is through automating a number of things that I've been doing sort of the hard way for a long time. And the other is to do more speaking. So, and also make more professional connections. So that's sort of my game plan for 2021.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Cynthia.
Okay. Let me show you something. I don't know if I can do this. I think I can. This little guy right here, say hi, Perry, has become a metaphor for joy in my life, joy and activity. So my personal goals for the upcoming year, I'll start with the personal, are to let the joy that Perry has brought into our family life enliven my relationship with my wife, my beautiful wife, Jill, and my gorgeous, amazing, special, creative son, Jake. And I want to continue to improve my relationships with my spouse and my son. I have been historically a workaholic, and that's COVID has taught me that doesn't serve me well, because it leads to, this weird martyrdom and passive aggressiveness. I know that's TMI, guys, but my father didn't attend to his family. So the COVID has made us all closer in our personal relationships. And now the death in my family has kind of shaken everything up in the way that COVID did. He didn't die of COVID, but we've lost one of our parents. There are 4, and now there are 3. And the coming year may bring more deaths because my parents are in horrible, horrible shape. But my personal goal is to continue the enlivening of that joy with every interaction with my mother, my father, those in my life, and also in my personal life. This is a hybrid goal. Financial orderliness and adulting. Yeah, I might be a certain age, but in some ways I'm not adult enough, and I want to continue with my budgeting and just being a financial adult. Antonio, you might know something about that. I think I'm gonna need your help. Anyway, that's it. My business goal is to, kind of like in my personal life, I'm going to put that sparkly joy in every interaction for all of my clients for 2021 and the rest of 2020. quality. I want every interaction to be a satisfying interaction for both me and my client. Just, I'm trying to put it into words. Antonio, that last referral was so amazing. I'm like, let this be the standard for the future. And I've gotten a couple of referrals recently that I've really made a personal connection with someone and I've helped them. And yeah, I want to have really quality relationships with every single client. And oh, one more thing. I have the most amazing Zoom trainer that I'm happy to refer to anyone. Since COVID started, I've been working out 3 times a week and meditating every day. So I want to continue my trajectory of perfect health that I'm on. And yeah, I just want to continue that. Thank
Beautiful. Thank you. And thank you for being so real and honest always. You really are. And I love your, you know, you have really taught me, Cynthia, a lot about standing up for, you know, being with good people. You know, as a salesperson, you know, I convinced myself years ago that I can handle anyone. And that's part of my job. And being a skilled salesperson is to be able to manage any personality. And I have realized this year that that is not just this year, but many years, but it's not possible, that we're not for everyone. And you always say, I want nice people, you know, and that is exactly what, you know, this is such a tight way of saying exactly what it is that we're looking for. So I really want to thank you for that. That has really helped me a lot. All right, Leisha.
Hi there. You know, I was listening to everybody talk, and there were so many themes I think that we probably could all agree on. And I don't know that I have anything original to say when it comes to goals. But for me, this year has been really, I think, impactful because we've been so isolated. And I think the revelation for me is that life is even more short than we think it is. And the moments that we have the privilege to be here, they really need to matter. And so for me, I'm praying that 2021 gives us more chances to be close to people. So it's about, for me, it's about my family, connecting with them again. I've been physically distant from them for a long time. And so I'm anxious to be in their presence again and to be able to share those relationships. The love that I have with them is just amazing. And I'm so thankful for it now. That also makes me think about the community. And because we've been so inside and distance from other people, I really am looking for a way to get back in the community. There are people who are hurting. And I think everybody on this call could agree we're blessed. You know, we're still working. Our lives have not been dramatically altered. And so I'm just looking for an opportunity to share with somebody who's more regularly, you know, who's really hurting, because there's so much pain right now in the US. So not to be downer, but those are happy goals for me. So I'm looking for a chance to do that in 2021. And then from a business perspective, I would love to add to my business. I'm looking for more employees. So if you know great people who are happy people, nice people who actually like working with other people, and have the right motives, anybody can be trained to do what we do. So I'd love to meet some new people to add to our team. And then last, to be a better leader. So I think the challenge for all of us, we're small business owners. It's a small world for us, but we're still leaders. And I would love to grow in that for my team. So somebody spoke earlier, I think it was Tanisha, was talking about knowing everything in the office and you're being the go-to person. I have great team, but I want to learn to delegate more, to give more of what I do to them so that they can grow and my customers can get an even better experience than they have now.
Beautiful. Wise words. Thank you. Who are we missing? Let's see. Other than BJ, I think I've got everyone. BJ,
wait, did we hear from Liberty?
Oh, did we hear? Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was
okay.
number 2 after the bang that Jimmy gave us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
BJ.
Bud.
Oh, am I going?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. A little delayed. Sorry. So we all kind of, I'll start with my personal. We all kind of have some in common, which is like just balancing between the work and the family. And that's definitely one of mine, because during this time, I was like, okay, 2020, I have to figure out how to make all of this work and still generate business. And I think I was so focused on that I didn't take time outside of that for family, my partner, just myself especially. So that's one thing that I really want to focus more on in 2021 is like self and family, and just being outside as much as I can, because who knows what's going to happen in 2021, manifesting that it's not like 2020. And then just another personal goal, which also goes into business, is asking for help. Like, I'm not good with that. I'm like, oh, I can do all this by myself, but I need help with certain things. So just getting better with that. And planning a wedding. That's another personal thing that's, whoa, I started to this year and I was like, we'll wait till next year. It's fine. We'll plan that next year. So those are a few of the personal goals. And then business goal, I really want to open a photo studio close to this area, which I'm in Inglewood. So that's something that is a newer goal, but still something that I definitely want to do in 2021. And then also starting a business with my mom. We're doing an event decorating business, and we had our first client this weekend and it went really well. So she's like, all right, let's do the LLC. She wants to get it started. So that's going to be a 2021 goal also, is expanding on that and planning something with her. And then just also being a part of this group with you guys, another business goal, contributing to every business that you guys have, and then, you know, receiving as well, being open to receiving from all of you. And that's it.
Beautiful.
Thank
you. All right, beautiful. Okay, I'll go. You know, this group is a manifestation of a goal I've had for 8 years. Thinking about it and then putting it off, and thinking about it and putting it off. Finally put it together in March, on March 5th or something like that. John was there, Jim was there, Jimmy was there. And that was the last time we were allowed to meet in person that week. And then the whole thing locked down, but we still managed to get this big thing off the ground. And here we are with 10 people, and looking forward to another even more successful year, and building a group of 20 to 30 people next year. Totally doable. Totally. Once you get a little bit momentum, it just goes bigger and bigger. My personal goal is to lose weight permanently. When COVID hit, I was 204 pounds. I had been 190, which was the lowest ever. And after marinating on Halloween for about 2 weeks, I was 230. So I had gained 25 pounds, more than 10% in, you know, what was that, 6 months or something like that. So I'm back down to 214, and I've got, for my health, to get under 200 for the rest of my life. I can't, 200 has to be the max, and really down to 190 or less. So that is a personal goal. It's a goal, you know, my weight has always been an issue. I love to eat. I don't love to move around. So, you know, huge for me to really get that under control. On a business level, I'm not going this year to do, hold on a second. I'm not going to do results oriented. I'm going to do process oriented. In other words, you know, I would love to sell obviously 30, 40 homes that are really expensive, but I'm not going to set my success or my feelings towards myself or my business based on a result that I cannot control. What I can control is making 25 contacts a day and let it all work itself out. Now, 25 contacts a day is a lot. It is a full day. to talk to that many people, but I'm a broker. That's what I'm supposed to do. And I'm supposed to be in business. And according to my coach, if you're not talking to 25 people a day, you're not really a broker. And so, you know, that I'm looking to be a process oriented, happy at the end of the day that I did my process. And I know that if I do my process, everything will work from there, you know, and not be beating myself up because I didn't sell an extra house that I needed to or whatever. It's just not, because I cannot control my results. So 25 contacts a day, and lose, right now I'm at 15, so lose another 20 pounds, get down to 195 or less permanently for the rest of my life. And that
Beautiful.
is that. Thank you.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
You know what, Eric, can I hop in here for a second? I'm going to anyway. Okay. So one thing I didn't mention is I don't know if you guys know this, but I also do workshops. My background as a teacher, I do workshops in terms of helping people overcome fear and things like that. And that's also another side business I've got, which I didn't mention that, but growing that, of course, is one thing. But if I can share one thing, just a little gift to you guys that I feel compelled to share, but I feel like I've got a black belt in balancing life. Family, health, work, all that. And I just have to share, because I hear that theme, we talked about that today. We've all got a little something in life that we want to focus more on. And what I've learned is that we tend to keep appointments for other people, but not ourselves, right? We got an appointment with a doctor, we got an appointment for our kids, we got an appointment for a client, we're going to be there. But as human nature, we don't keep appointments for ourselves. So one thing I like to share that's helped me a lot, a gift for you guys, is keep those appointments for yourself. And even if you don't have the time, make them really short, small appointments, like 5 minutes. 5 minutes for health, 5 minutes for reaching out to the community, 5 minutes for working on the book, 5 minutes, just 5 minutes a day or a week or something like that. And start with that, because that's what I had to do. I lost weight, you guys. I lost 45 pounds, and I've kept it off ever since. It took me a while, but I've been successful, and I've stayed permanently healthy since then. Just little things. And I just want to share that with you guys, because you're all wonderful, beautiful people, and we're all A personalities, but I've learned that it's like I got to put a little time aside for myself every day just to do that thing that's really important to me. Because it's that oxygen mask thing. You put your oxygen mask on first, you know, in the airplane, so you can take care of the people around you. So the health, the business planning, the getting the partner, getting the, you know, all that stuff that you guys want, I would just recommend 5 minutes a day. Start with that and build that muscle until it becomes a bigger part of your life. I hope that was helpful.
I love that, Jimmy. And when I teach my classes, I always say make art for 5 minutes.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank
Beautiful.
you, Liberty.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, okay. Last thing before we call it a year. Announcements, testimonials. Any last thoughts? Any things going on with your business or your personal that you want to discuss real quick, or announce, or give a testimonial to one of the other people? Okay, T, go.
Mute. You're on mute.
Hello.
Okay, sorry.
There you go.
I really wanted to give a testimonial to Laisha, because Laisha was the one who brought me into this group, and I'm so very happy that she did so. But Laisha has consistently, since I have been her, Laisha actually inherited me as a client. And ever since she inherited me, she has constantly taught me things or showed me how to, or has just brought things into my life that I wasn't even thinking about. You know, it had to do with her business and how she can help me. But it's been consistent, and I don't know. I think it's been at least maybe 10 years or close to 10 years that I have been her client. And every year, or every time we see each other, or she reaches out to me, she's always showing me ways that can help me. And the last couple of years, she has invited me to different events like this group. And we just had a professional level. Last year in 2019, my mom passed away, and she was helping me with some business matters associated with that. But besides that, what really sold the deal for me is we didn't know all of this time that we had been working together that Laisha's parents went to school with my parents at high school. And after my mom passed away, Laisha reached out to her family, and her mom, I believe it was her mom or dad, they had a yearbook, and Laisha shared with me a yearbook picture of my mom in high school that I had never seen before. So that was, I mean, that is such a such a fantastic story. My mom had already passed away, and here is a person who is just, any other person would say, oh, this is my insurance agent. My insurance agent, who is more than an insurance agent, found a photo of my mom when she was 16 or 17 years old. Like, she was talking about me with her family. So I just thought that that was such a cool, I'm so eternally grateful to her for that. And then continuing to invite me and include me in other things. And then even getting my fiance involved and reaching out to him and establishing a business and personal relationship with him. I'm just so grateful for her. So I wanted to share that as a testimony.
Wow,
Thank you,
sounds like you
T.
have a client for life there, Laisha.
You know what she didn't say is she comes from an amazing family. So her entire family is filled with just wonderful people. And just very quickly, my mother, when she found out that who her parents were, the first thing she said was, oh, her mom was such a sweet girl and just a good person, and it runs in the family. So thank you for saying that. You guys are special.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else? Announcements, testimonials.
Well, I have one more testimonial then.
Okay.
I got a call from, so one of the referrals that I sent to Antonio, after she had a conversation with Antonio, she texted me a long message about how he was a godsend. She really, I didn't even share this with him, and how she really appreciated his professionalism, and that she definitely wanted to move forward and work with him. So thank you, Antonio, for whatever that conversation was. It made a lasting impression on my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, she's good people. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Anybody else?
Hey, I just wanted to chime in.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually, very thankful I met the group here, and, I'm glad that, like Cynthia has been fantastic, and I've referred her some people, and I'm really glad that I met her. I've worked with a lot of different attorneys, but I'm like, when I've talked about attorneys to people, I always bring her up. And so I'm very happy that I met her. And Laisha also helped me out on something this year. And thank you, Laisha. I appreciate that. You talked to one of my clients, and that was fantastic. It was quick, and they were panicked because, it's always the end of the world. It's always the end of the world. There's always, something going to happen. And also thanks everybody for all your support, and Jimmy and Eric in particular. Thank you for the business. I do appreciate it. And, something to kind of piggyback on what Eric was saying. A real estate agent told me this, I was, probably 25 years old. And based on kind of what you just said, Eric, as far as, what your coach is kind of saying, is he said, let go of the money. He said, let go of the money. Just do your work, do what you got to do, but let go of the money. Don't think about the money. And he goes, it'll happen. You do what you need to do. That'll all happen. Don't worry about that part. And that was great advice. And listening to what you said, Eric, it was like, that's what your guy is saying is, do these steps, let go of this. Don't worry about selling that one more house or getting that one listing. Do these things and that'll happen. And
yeah, because if you focus on the results, the problem is that in most cases, you don't meet your goal. A lot of us usually make the goal pretty crazy. And then what happens? You beat yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of lose confidence. And then the next year, and the next year, and the next year, and it compounds. I was so much more confident in myself when I started my career than 18 years later when I've been doing it and done over 700 transactions. But I've been beaten up, and I've been beating up myself for 18 years for not reaching my this or that. It's like almost like a sickness, right? When instead it's just about enjoying your day with your process. As long as you can do that, everything's going to be great, you know? And something my coach always says to me is that, you know, everything is going to be okay as soon as you are okay with everything. There's nothing wrong out there. We are perfect, and our lives are perfect, and we are happy people. There's nothing wrong. All is good. It's really all up in here that is causing los problemos. And so again, focus on your day. Focus on, you know, doing the things that you need to do. Like Jimmy said, a little bit of time for yourself. You know, COVID, let's take COVID and make it this way forever. You know, the things that we've learned this year, being stuck at home with, like, in a prison, thinking and thinking and thinking. So, you know, one thing I'd like to end here with is that, and this group, we have managed to come through a lot, if you think about it. During that short period when we could actually, when restaurants were sort of open, we met 3 times in person. You know, we tried that. And now we're back to this because we found this is better. We've tried meeting in person before, and then, you know, in my office, and then COVID hit. We've tried these things, but we've survived and we've grown. And here we are at 10. And I know for a fact that there are people out there right now at 8:20 in the morning who are wishing they were in a group like this, you know, who wish they had a community that they could communicate with. So over the next 2 weeks until we meet again, I challenge you to just keep your minds open for people around you who you're running into, who you're talking to, and ask them, what do you do? And then invite them to this group. Most of the time, they're going to at least appreciate that you invited them and think better of you for having done that. And in some cases, they're going to actually join. And I'd love to see a group of 20 to 30 by the end of 2021. All right, any last things for the good of the order before we call it a year?
I'd like to say one thing. You know, I really want to grow this group to 20 and 30 people. Excuse me. I think that the bar is set high for the quality of people in this group. So, I mean, it's amazing to me. So it's great.
And the good news is that we are good people. Therefore, the people we know and would even think to invite to this group are good people. So it stems, you know, it all goes out from the core, which is a good core.
So we skip next week and we see each other on January 5th, Tuesday, January 5th. Is that right?
January 12th.
January 12th.
Correct.
Okay. I've got the wrong, calendar, but got it. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, January 5th at 7 o'clock in the morning is maybe a little too soon to really be excited about getting back to business. So we'll take a 2-week break and we'll be back on January 12th, 7 a.m. December 12th, 2019. And so I really—
Hey, Eric, before we go, I'm sure that everybody in this call agrees with me that we want to thank you and we want to thank Jimmy. You guys have put in a lot of hard work this year to make this happen. And that doesn't go, we notice it. We give you a hard time, but we really do appreciate you guys. You've been great leaders. So thank you for making this happen for all of us.
Oh my God, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Eric. I'm just going to end this real quick. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to throw it real quick for John or everyone else. Since quarantine, I actually been going hiking every week because that's one of the things that's open now. So I'll put out there, like, if anyone wants to go hiking, I go hiking. I've been going to Mescal Canyon That's somewhat close, or Baldwin Hills, La Brea. So I'll put it up there when I go. If anyone wants to join me, you can distance, mask on, and go hiking and lose some of those things permanently in the mountains. Some of those COVID-19 pounds.
So Temescal Canyon, that's in PC near PCH at Palisades.
That's all PCH. It's right by Pali High. It's super easy to get to. Extremely easy to get to.
My
but not
son is
easy
in a
to
hiking group
finish.
that hikes there every week.
Beautiful. Well,
Well, I've been going on hikes with my kids every weekend. It's been nice, and there's a lot out in your area too, John. There's those hikes I've been up there. It's nice. So I just want to end real quick, if I can end the meeting, but I just want to really put a shout out to Eric, because although the intention of this was a business group, you know, in terms of building business, the love here today and the community he's created, I'm just really grateful for this, you guys, and grateful for you guys, and good group of people. And you know, this has been something that's helped me get through the COVID, is these meetings on Tuesdays. Even though there was a point where Eric was like, this isn't going to work, we got to meet in person. It's like, you know what? The energy and the love in this group has kept it going, and I'm excited about 2021. Yes.
All right.
Thank
and that
you,
is a great way to end it. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. You guys have a great day. Kick some butt out there. Think about each other. Love you all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Happy
Bye,
New Year. Happy
everybody.
Hanukkah.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Thank
Happy
you.
Happy
Bye.
Kwanzaa, Festivus, Festivus,
Happy New
Christmas,
Year. We'll see you
everything.
in a couple weeks.
Bye,
Solstice.
everybody.
Happy
Stay
New Year.
safe.
Bye.
Festivus
Bye.
for the rest of us.
Stay safe.